Today's repair is a Midway Seattle board running Blitz 99. A typical problem with these things is edge connectors get burned up like this. Left this out as part of the repair. I'll fix that in a second. The ground pins were fine, but the +5 was fried. So a couple ways to fix this is, first and foremost, is copper tape. So you can get this online, pretty much anybody, like Amazon, eBay, probably other places like that. You can buy it also in art supply stores, Michael's, and whatnot. I like to use the wider stuff because it covers two traces nicely. So what you do is you just cut a little bit of that off, and sometimes you have to scrape away the solder mask on the board. It is sticky backed, so you can stick it down to the board and then solder it in place, which I'll do here in a second. I'm going to put you down. Okay, so that is now soldered in place. Of course, you have to do the same on the other side, which I need to do. So I will put you down again. Okay, so now that is soldered in place. So that fixes the board side of things. Problem is, the edge connector is still going to have bad pins. So you really need to replace the edge connector with the blue ones with the gold contacts, because they make better contact than these black ones do. But at any rate, the reason this happens is somewhere in the 90s, late 90s, mid 90s, PCB manufacturers decided that they could save some money by making the boards a little bit thinner. Well, they forgot to send the memo to the manufacturer of the edge connectors. So the edge connectors are made a certain width, where the boards are a little bit smaller. They do make contact, but not adequate contact for long term, which is demonstrated by fried connectors. So that's one way to fix this ish. Now you've got to replace the edge connector in the cabinet to really get past this problem. Another way to fix this is take a piece of wire longer than this one, and you would solder, say, black here, red here, run those down to your power supply. Depending on how you do it, you might marry the board to the cabinet. By married, I mean it doesn't just easily come unplugged and is removable. The way I like to do it, however, is a lot of these boards will have this hard drive power supply connector. So that was supposed to go out to your drive, your fans, whatever else in the cabinet. But what we're gonna do is we, on that red and black wire, tap into it and then make this adapter that will now plug into the harness in the machine. It will provide +5 and ground directly to the board instead of through the edge connector. So now most of the Midway games at the time came with a supply similar to that one. The earlier 90s had the screw terminal, 15 amp or 11 amp Peter Childs, whatever. A lot of these supplies will have two outputs, and they're both identical. Red's across the top, black's in the middle, those three colors in the bottom. Same thing here, same thing there. So what I'm going to do with this, I made this adapter that will plug into the power supply. Okay, and then your harness in your cabinet will plug into the other side of the adapter. In case there's boards in the cabinet that need +5 or ground, obviously. Okay, it's a little difficult to do with one hand, but I'm sure we can get it. Okay. Now what that does is essentially it will bypass the edge connector in that the connection from that connector through this 16 gauge wire to that connector is a bigger pipe, so to speak. So the board's going to draw most of its power now from here rather than from here. So now we don't necessarily need to replace this edge connector. So I'll go ahead and get it powered up. Okay. Takes a second to come up. And there you have it. I took the liberty of burning a compact flash for this board, so no more spinning hard drive. That edge connector problem should not be a problem with this board anymore, so long as this board goes along with this harness and plugs directly into the power supply. And hopefully I made this pigtail long enough to reach down to the supply in your cabinet. I think I did. Let me know if you have any questions.